Oh my god, Claudio Castagnoli just swung Darby Allin in that giant door. Guess he's gonna have to change his name to Doorby Allin. Huh? Huh? Maybe he should change his name to Claudio Castagnoli. Whatever. What do you want from me? I'm John Wright, the one for review of AEW Dynamite from the Total Mortgage Arena in Bridgeport. 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 This is Bridgeport. This is Bridgeport. Good job, Swerve. Good job. Stanford's a little bit up the road, and you don't know geography. Good job. He got the crowd to turn on him, even though they love the Hurt Syndicate. They love Swerve, but this no longer is Swerve's house. So let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. I liked a few things, and there are things that I really didn't like at all, and a few questions that I have. So let's dive into all that. One, we are just a few days away from Full Gear. Yes, I will be watching Full Gear, but I'm going to say right now that if AEW doesn't shore up their television, make things more destination programming, they don't have to make it destination unknown because they're in Bridgeport. They just have to make it to where the television is worth reviewing week to week. Because pretty soon, starting next year, I might just go intermittent. So, apparently this arena holds around 10,000 people, and if they had 3,000 people there, I will be surprised. Some of the crowd made as much noise as they could, but there were points where I was like, my God, they can't shoot any of the crowd because they can't draw a crowd. I know it's Connecticut. I don't expect them to do like 8,000 people, but Jesus Christ, you can't even do 5K in Bridgeport. For those who went to the show, was it fun? Did you have fun? And also, apparently, they're taping Collision, and they're going to be setting things up so basically the talents can have Thanksgiving, they can have Thanksgiving off, and that's good. You know what, if they can have that time off and everything and just spend time with their families, that's a good thing. So Shivani, Nigel, and Excalibur on commentary. Okay, I like Shivani. I respect what Shivani has brought to professional wrestling. He's not good at commentary. He has not been good at commentary for a while. Nigel is a little bit overbearing as far as trying to be the Jesse Ventura heel-like commentator, and Excalibur is out of his fucking element. So, Christian Cage along with the Patriarchy, good goddamn Christ, Shayna, good with respect. My God, what a lovely woman she is. Super nice, too. Nick, so happy for Nick Wayne. Kip is also there. Christian Cage teamed up with Hangman Page, Cage the Page. It's like Cage the Elephant, only there's a bigger hit with them, even more recently than with this. So they took on Jay White and Juice Robinson. Okay, you know what? This was decent. It was bookended by tag action, and this wasn't bad. Like, there were points where it's like, okay, maybe it got a little bit silly, but they tried to mostly keep it serious. The problem is while they tried to intermix some stuff like the Hook stuff, trying to take down the Patriarchy, he just suddenly, gets Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne just conveniently goes out to this empty area where Hook attacks him and then takes him away, and he's kidnapping him. And then they fought off. They just fought off right there. So, there was a near botch where I thought Juice was actually going to shatter his leg when he went, he almost fell off the goddamn, top rope. Thankfully, Hangman caught him. Juice caught himself as well. And they were able to do the fall away slam off the top. But that was a little bit scary. So, you know what? It was what it was. They worked it well. This was hyping up Juice or Jay White and Hangman. And it was pretty goddamn obvious who was going to end up taking the fall, because Juice is the only one not featured in a particular program, as far as a feud. So Shayna interferes, distracting in more ways than one, and I mean that with respect. And yeah, Juice tries to go for Kip, and I think Kip was supposed to hit him with the contract, but he ended up hitting him with the contract late. But whatever, it's fine. Dead eye, 1, 2, 3. So, okay, Juice Robinson cannot catch a break to save his life. I mean, it's a means to an end. It was what it was. Full gear card, hype. And, okay, so suddenly Renee is talking to Mercedes, and then Camille's out with an arm sling. Either she's injured or they're playing this up. They've already neutered Camille or whatever, and they are in the tightest goddamn hallway. I don't even think they could get a person over 200 pounds in there. That was a really tight hallway. And then suddenly, Statlander faces down against Mercedes. She, knocks Camille around again. We kind of get a bit of a fracas. Mercedes gets her fingers in her eyes, but then suddenly Statlander spears both of them through this wall. And I will say that at least that wall part, unlike the Jericho and Samoa Joe piece, and unlike various other things, that they've done, like, prop stuff, that at least didn't look all that bad. Not saying it looked great. I am over Mercedes. I am 100% over Mercedes. This isn't working with Camille. I thought it might. It's not. And this is not working with Mercedes. And it's not going to work when Statlander loses to her, because the vast majority of people just don't care. She can show flashes of being like Sasha Banks. She can show flashes of being what she once was. To me, she's coasting. There's nothing wrong with that, but she's not good at this anymore. So anyway, Shivani then brings out Will Ospreay, who basically wants answers and tells Tony to get out of the ring. Here comes Kyle Fletcher. They are trying here. They are trying. I think this went a little bit long in the tooth, but they did what they could. No physicality. Don't worry, I won't touch you, Kyle, but I know you have something in your pocket. I know you didn't come alone. And then he throws him the screwdriver, throws the screwdriver down. Ospreay does it, sticks up in the mat. He's like, "You happy?" Not really. Which was kind of funny. And then Kyle knows him so well. You were there, when I picked up my kid from school, all this stuff and everything. And there's nothing wrong with this. I didn't mind this as much because they're trying to at least build something. The thing is, they've kind of stumbled into this. Basically, all the people I've screwed over, the championships I've won, you lived in my house. And I brought you into United Empire. You and Mark Davis did really well. I helped open the door for you here. You didn't need my help, but I gave you my help. And you've done sod all, lad. Which is a British thing, I guess. They're into sod over there. And Fletcher basically says, "I want you and me in full gear." Ospreay says he'll give him his 5 minutes of fame. Fletcher said, "Oh, you thought that what I did before was bad. Well, I'm going to make sure that I just take everything from you." And Ospreay even said, after that Tiger Driver, I couldn't even, I can barely feel anything down my left arm. Homer Simpson talked about that and probably should have gone to the hospital. But while you were shaving your head, my son was squeezing my hand. I couldn't even feel it. Should he be wrestling then, if that's the case? I mean, I get what they're going for here, but it's like, what doctor would clear this? It is what it is. Look, they're ready to face off. This might actually be pretty good. If they can keep the shenanigans to a low, the interference to a low, I'm all for it. But then, all of a sudden, we cut back, after they're doing their stuff, and we see that Takesh is there, and we see that we see a whole bunch of people are there. We see Mark Davis is there, Archer is there, Hobbs is there. Suddenly, Ospreay had friends too. And then we get a 6-way brawl. That's fine. We never see 6-way brawls or big brawls on this show. We got big brawls, the biggest brawls of them all. Thankfully, not a brawl for all or the brawl to end it all. But then we basically just get a big old fracas. They fight off. Suddenly, Roderick Strong's music hits because he's got a match with Lance Archer. And remember, if Strong and Cole get to 3 wins each, which they're going to do on the show, they face MJF in a 3-way. So suddenly, Archer goes to the stage, music hits, and Archer forgets to look down the other tunnel, and Strong hits him with a kendo stick. They announced it's Falls Count Anywhere. I don't remember if they announced that on Collision or not. It's not important for the purposes of this equation, but Rick Knox just suddenly rings the bell, and their announcers are scrambling, saying, "Oh, it's a Falls Count Anywhere match," but they didn't bother lighting the backstage area, so we get a table bump, and unless you have night vision goggles, you couldn't really goddamn see it. So it's Archer versus Strong in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Same as it ever was, and the bumps went by. Taven came out, got choke slammed on some security. Strong had to practically say, hey, wait, I'm ready to do my spot, ready to do the finish. He does the finish, hits the knee strike over the barricade, and gets the victory. I mean, I know Lance Archer is not in the prime of his career, but he still can be physically impressive. This is a way, I guess, to beat him without beating him, but to me, it just was what it was. Sorry. I'm sick of these Falls Count Anywhere matches, no matter what company it is. But yeah, Roderick gets the victory. MJF watches on. Strong has 3 wins. Then suddenly Takeshita attacks him. And then here's Simpson Cole. Is Adam Cole just tanning badly or is he sick? Genuine question. I am really worried about him. I was also worried about Cole versus Takeshita because honestly, Takeshita should have wiped the floor with him. Shouldn't have even broken a sweat. Nothing against Adam Cole. He can do the moves, but he does not have this anymore. He's 33 or 35. I forget the age. He can't do this. He cannot fucking do this. I know he's had his injuries. He had the concussion. Had the ankle issue. He's had injuries. He's had stuff that he's had to overcome. It's fucking over. Takeshita did end up at one point outside after they did a whole bunch of moves. And Takeshita did, he had hidden the ring that Callis had gotten from MJF last week, hidden it under the ring, and then inadvertent ring shot when the referee didn't, was out of position, and 1, 2, 3, and then MJF laughs. So then Roderick Strong comes back out. He gets a low blow. O'Reilly comes out while Ricochet attacks Takeshita. So much going on here. And O'Reilly will not, shake hands with Cole and Strong because of all the tension and everything. And my friends are arguing and everything. The friend stuff is annoying. It's really annoying. I'm sorry. It's super fucking annoying. There were good things on the show. Here's what I bet. They're somehow going to try to find a way to maybe have Cole and MJF reunite as a heel team. And just screw over Roddy. Or maybe they're going to have Roddy team with MJF. They're going to do something to flummox this and make it even worse. I don't know how. But they're going to find a way to do it. Then Renee's with the Hurt Syndicate. MVP takes over and basically pumps up Bobby Lashley. And how he's going to hurt Swerve at Full Gear. And then Claudio and Yuta. They're just... They take out J.D. Drake because, they arrived at this point. J.D. Drake, who I don't think has been seen on this program for a while. He's been on Ring of Honor. I got nothing against J.D. Drake. Nothing against him at all. He served his purpose here. This whole Death Riders thing with Pac, and Pac wasn't even there. But Claudio, Yuta, Mox, and Marina Shafir and Pac, it's not good. It's not good. The crowd was hooting and hollering at Mox. It's pointless. He's talking about all this, talking in riddles and, but you work for me. It's like, I want the best version of you and, you have to take this from me and you come at the king, you better not miss. Whatever the fuck. It sounds about the same as anything he's saying. Suddenly, here's Orange Cassidy, Briscoe, and Romero. And basically, Orange Cassidy's promo boils down to, I need to take the title from you, basically to restore order to this company. You take down one pawn, though, because it's like, playing chess. Yuta's a pawn. I need to take him down before I take down the king. And then, suddenly, as they're leaving, the Death Riders, suddenly Darby dives on everybody, and boom, 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 boom. They have a fight. Darby just keeps at it. Darby jumps in the goddamn truck when everybody tries to leave, but they left Yuta. And then Claudio battles him, slams him into the door, and then swings him into the door. Doorby Allin, as it were. And yeah, that's it. And Darby's like, I'm still standing. Darby's probably just like, man, what day is it? Because Claudio's a safe worker, but I can't imagine that felt very good. This stuff with Mox's group is terrible. Speaking of terribles, Jericho's group talked. Apparently Jericho and Ishii are going to have a match. Yeah, I'll put butts in seats of other promotions. Penelope then took on Britt. For what, for who? Are they still pushing Britt? Nothing against Penelope. I'm glad she's back after 2 years. For whatever reason, she was gone. She seems like she can still, perform well, do the moves well. Britt will never get better. It has been 6 goddamn years since Allin. Just a little over 6 years. She is not any fucking better. And Britt, I don't know why Penelope licked her cheek. That was a bit weird. I did like how she went from the Moodle lock, and then we got the, the lockjaw. So that was kind of neat. That was fine for what it was. Why is Serena here? Britt says no one cares, or nobody cares. That's ironic coming from her. Britt, who basically has just killed the ratings. She used to be a bit of a ratings boost. Now she basically kills the ratings. No one cares about Britt. At least the vast majority of people don't. So Renee is with Mina Shirakawa. Jesus. I know words were said here. Something about celebrating with Mariah when she beats Anna Jay. Then Harley shows up drinking something and then mentions something about, how about we fight tit for tit, rack 'em up, and may the breast woman win. And then they shake their tits. And I'm not complaining about that. It's a nice visual, but even Renee's trying to stop it. And okay. I'll say this. Harley made me laugh more than I expected. Harley's actually starting to grow on me. She's done better and she's improved. Just get her away from Soraya and you'll be fine. Swerve then took on a little child named Leo Rush and then eventually won. I'm not going to pay any attention to a Leo Rush match, especially in 2024, because I have never believed him. I will never believe him. He is not believable as a wrestler. Swerve then cuts a promo and mentions Lashley and Stanford, which led to the "This is Bridgeport" chants. Good job, Swerve. You pissed off a fan base. And, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. They're not going to be in Connecticut for a while after this. But Shelton then attacks Swerve after MVP and Lashley are there. They're cheering MVP. They're chanting Bridgeport, Bridgeport, as Lashley beats up Swerve. Nana kind of messed up his spot into the post. I mean, to be fair, Nana is not a wrestler anymore. He's a manager. But that was what it was. I did find it funny that Leo Rush was just still there, just in the corner of the barricade. Like, you could have done something, gone for help, or, I don't know, picked something else to do, you little gnat. Randy Newman made a song about Leo Rush. Well, not about Leo Rush specifically, but about short people, and it applies here. So, yeah, Swerve did that. The Hurt Syndicate looked pretty good, and if I say the Hurt Business, I apologize. Jamie Hayter wants to right the wrongs, and then coming up next, she's got one wrong that she wants to do first, and then suddenly we cut to a Julia Hart vignette where they did this. I don't know if it was during Collision or they just decided to put it up on their social media, but Julia got shot and she shot an arrow into the air and then it went into her chest. That is a deep cut reference nobody will get. I thought we were channeling goddamn Sleepaway Camp with the camp counselor or the camp head. And now she's got, an arrow wound in her chest instead of taking an arrow to the knee. How much can I sub-reference here? And suddenly she gets a call from Brody. It's time to come home. And the phone's disconnected. And then there's this red shutter room where she opens. And then the dark figure hands her this archery. So is she going to arrow people? Wasn't she evil before she got injured? Why does she have to come home? I have so many questions as to why they're spending money on this. And nothing against Julia Hart. I think Julia Hart improved dramatically. I just don't understand why they're doing this. Because it's not like she was turning good. Whatever, it's fine. It's totally fine. Let's just spend money on horror movie shit. So Private Party comes out for the main event. And the main event was the Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black, and Brody King against FTR. If Dax and Cash were about disturbing the peace, would they be FT Guar? You're welcome. Look, good match. Well wrestled, however I want to say it. Really tired here. Malachi, Malachi can do some good stuff. Brody is impressive as a beast in short bursts. And FTR is still one of, if not the best tag team, wrestling-wise in the world. They just aren't given much to do. This is the contenders match, by the way. Super overtime. This thing went 10 minutes into overtime. My DVR, again, records an hour ahead. Or an hour extra. They got to start getting this stuff just in time. Unless their new TV deal is going to allow them to go 2.5 hours. I don't know. There was a big back body drop. And there was some nice stuff here. A Doomsday Device powerbomb variation. The Powerplex got stopped. Black hit a stomp. That looked painful. We get some near falls. A spike pile driver on the goddamn apron. I don't know why. And then Brody does a dive. Gets Dax back in the goddamn ring. And, does this. And it just chokes him out with a sleeper. And that's it. He just sleepers him and that's it. Okay, didn't expect that. It's one way to put the sleeper over. It's a little bit weird, but yeah, that is about it for Dynamite right there. So, if you guys start seeing some Dynamite reviews pop up like Thursday afternoon, don't be too surprised, because it's getting to the point where I don't know if I'm going to bother staying up late after I'm done working Wednesdays to review that. Now, next week, I am actually off on Wednesday. I'm taking a few days off, or, an extra day off. But I'm going to go watch Wicked, so the Dynamite review will probably be up about at the same time as usual. Nevertheless, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Riplin. I'll see you soon.